My name is Alexander Leviathan, and I am your head of creative for the channel. Wrestling is phenomenal. And I was going through and just trying to plot my first video for this channel because I finally got to a place where my Pokemon channel, Phenomenal by Choice, link in the description, has finally, okay, I can rest on that for now. I'm almost monetized on that, so it's just a waiting game, but I wanted to do other things, wrestling, anime, all this other stuff. And I'm like, what better way to start a wrestling channel is to do prediction theories for Wrestlemania. So, okay, let's do that. I wanted to do a face cam and I wanted to do all this other stuff, but the editing right now, I can't do it. There's a lot of editing that will go on with that. So I'm just gonna keep it in a podcast format right now, and then I'll switch over to a face cam and I'll do all that good stuff. But just for right now, I will go through each and every match on the Wrestlemania podcast. On my podcast, I will go through each Wrestlemania matchup and give you my predictions, what I would have done myself since I'm head of creative for my channel, and the back end Wrestlemania Backlash. That was so stupid. What I think is going to happen in the back end after everything is said and done. So let's begin. Okay, let's start with Cena. Yo, why, my man? I cannot talk today. Cena versus Theory. There's no reason Cena should win this match. Honestly, I've seen people predict Cena wins and then does an open challenge on Raw, which brings out like Randy Orton. Why would Cena need a win against Theory? Theory needs this. Are you serious? Theory needs this win against Cena. There's no reason why Cena should go over. Zero. What, to give it to another old guy tomorrow? Monday? Like, no, that's dumb. Theory should win. This should be his bragging point, his sticking point, whatever the case is. Even if they did that, with Cena winning and doing the US Open Challenge, I would want to see like Jay White take it off him. Somebody not 40 years old. Is that possible? Somebody not in their late 30s. Is that possible? Because seriously, there are a lot of fans in the WWE universe or just wrestling fans who complain about, oh my gosh, this old person, but then they want to see old people win. Like, no, Randy does not need the US title at all. I don't want to see him with it. I'm not going to let my nostalgia run my booking. I'm not going to let nostalgia run against good booking, run against common sense. I'm not going to be a hypocrite and be mad when Goldberg comes and wins the Universal title, but okay with Randy taking the United States Championship off of Cena, who took it off of Theory. That's dumb. I'm not going to do that. So Theory has to win. Ultimate boost, beating Cena at WrestleMania. What more can you say? Let's go to Seth freaking Rollins versus Logan Paul. Logan Paul, the man has been wild this year. Crazy rookie year. The Miz stuff, then Roman, and now on to this stuff. Incredible. Love to see it. Dude he's the best celebrity wrestler all time. There's no debate there. And I need Rollins to win this. I need Rollins to win it. Logan is gonna get booed regardless. He's one of the biggest heels in the company. He's gonna get booed regardless because people hate him in real life. He's gonna get booed. He's gonna get a reaction. He doesn't need this. Seth has lost. I don't remember Seth having a WrestleMania moment since the heist of the century. Like, what else has he? I mean, he won the Intercontinental Championship that one year in the triple threat match. So that was a win, but still, it's like he lost to Cody last year, and it's like every time Seth comes up with wrestling, I felt like he should have been the Shawn Michaels of this generation when it comes to like Mr. WrestleMania. I think he should have been Mr. WrestleMania, but he hasn't felt like it. So that's always been a real disappointment for me. So like I said, Logan doesn't need this win. Steph, stomp him into the middle of the earth. 1, 2, 3, game over. Let's go. Damage Control versus Becky Lynch, Trish, and Lita. Damage Control needs this win. They have been the L Squad since like their formation. They've won the tag team championship, the female tag team championships twice. I feel like Bayley should have won the women's championship off of Belair. Yeah, she should have won it off Belair, so the whole stable could have had gold. That would have been great. It would have gave them a lot of momentum. It would have gave them the top billing in the situation, but unfortunately that didn't happen. And we're at this position where Damage Control just seems like a nuisance rather than a threat. So I'm gonna go with, Damage Control. Plus, this would be a perfect time if this is the plan, to turn Trish heel, so they lose and everything, and then Trish goes off and faces Becky. Thing is, they playing this for SummerSlam. I don't know. SummerSlam is like a couple months away, so I really don't want Becky to be in like a half a year. It won't be half, I'm exaggerating. But I don't want her to be in another long feud after being in this long feud. So, I think that should just be a one and done thing. Plus, Trish probably won't be wrestling week to week, so they can foil each other. So I don't want that to happen. Omos versus Lesnar. As Big E would say, I want big chests. and big muscles. Big meaty men slapping meat. Big meaty men slapping meat. At one point, Ross Tweedale said it the best when he was King Ross. Vince McMahon loves big sweaty men. Vince McMahon loves big sweaty men. Because there was reports that Vince McMahon made this match. Big sweaty men, big meaty men slapping meat. That's literally that's it. That's it. It's nothing else. I don't care. I do not care one bit at all. I don't. This is one of those things where we've seen Hogan pick up Andre. Like, 50 years ago at this point? And we've seen Cena pick up Big Show. We've seen Lesnar pick up Big Show. We've seen Lesnar pick up Mark Henry. We've seen Lesnar pick up Braun Strowman. We've seen Cena pick up all these people too. Like Omos is 7'3", I think is his billing, which is cool, but he's nowhere close to the actual weight of Big Show. So them picking him up, or Lesnar picking him up, is not more impressive than him picking up Big Show. Big Show was billed at one point of 500 pounds. Omos stretched out more, so he's like 4 or something. But obviously 500 pounds is more impressive than 4 or something. It's literally 100 pounds more. Like I said, it might be 430 or something like that. I could be wrong. But no, it's not impressive. Like I said, Omos cannot wrestle for anything. He can't wrestle. He's too big. He can't. No. I remember Braun, when he first came in, he couldn't wrestle at all either. He learned. He got better. Obviously, he's not, Jason Jordan or Chad Gable, but he's better. Omos is not going to get there. He's just meant to be big and meaty. That's it. Lesnar's going to win. 1-5. Done. Belair versus Asuka. Everybody talk about the build to this match, and of course, it was terrible. I don't know what happened in the middle. I don't know why Asuka was losing so vehemently to, I think that was Carmella she was facing, and Carmella was getting over her big time. I don't know why it wasn't like a 2-minute squash match. Asuka should have broke her foot off, and I don't know if I can say that yet. Asuka should have just destroyed her. I don't know what they were thinking there. And then the Blue Mist laughing, and it was just strange. It was strange, and it was like, no, this is dumb. So I think that Asuka should win. Asuka's repackage, Bianca ran through everybody that matters in the women's division already, and she's getting to that Belair wins LOL territory. So let's not have Bianca there, because Bianca is amazing. I love her, and I search for a different timeline where me and her are married. That might be too much information. Anyways, I don't want Bianca to get there, and she's getting there. Obviously, she won the title last year at Wrestlemania, so it's been a full year since she had the title. So we don't need her to have a Roman run. Like, it's cool. Give it to Asuka. Asuka's the new badass. Easy booking. Let's go Flair versus Rhea. Same thing, except Rhea's build has been better than Asuka's. Give Rhea the title. Charlotte doesn't need the title. Obviously, she's Charlotte Flair. She has like 13, 14 reigns already. She's already about to surpass her father. She doesn't need the title for a little bit. Go away. Go do some, maybe she teams up with somebody, whatever the case is. Cool, go away. Go away for a little bit. Rhea has all the momentum in the world. She is the best looking female wrestler in the company right now. Obviously, I just told you how much I love Bianca, but she's the best looking female wrestler in the entire company right now. Give her the title. As for people saying, you know, like, oh, they might break up the Judgment Day because of her win, I don't see why. We've seen the New Day, Kofi and Big E both hold the WWE Championship, and they were still in the stable, so I don't understand why you would break them up. I mean, it still looks good. If anybody's going to be broken up, it should be Dominic, but I'll get to that later. So, Rhea wins. Let's keep it moving. Let's go the Usos. Yeah. Down since day one-ish women versus KO and Sami Zayn. I'm not doing Sami Zayn's music. So this has been insert Homelander meme here. It's been perfect. Down to the very minute detail. Just absolutely perfect. Now, I do have a sour taste in my mouth, what I'll get to later when I talk about Roman and Cody, but this right here, Kevin and Sammy got to take the titles off. In my opinion, understand what I'm saying. In my opinion, me personally, I think the Usos are the greatest tag team in NFL, WWE history. They check every box. They're a legacy. They have held the tag team titles for both tag team titles for the longest period any tag team has, the longest reign in history, excuse me. They have a top 5 faction. Yes, the Bloodline is a top 5 faction. I'm not going to call them number 1 just yet, but they are a top 5 faction easily. And they had the majority of the gold for a very long time. They tick every single box. Every single box they have ticked. So they're the best tag team in WWE history to me. And KO and Zayn have to take it all. Obviously, this is the emotional payoff. The storyline has had 0 flaws except for the Sammy stuff, but I'll get to that later. 0 flaws. Sammy and KO, easy win. That's it. Gunter versus Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. Another big meaty man slapping meat, but except they can actually wrestle, all 3 of them. So Gunter's build, and I always feel funny saying Gunter because Gunter was the name of the lead penguin in Adventure Time for the Ice King. He would always talk, to Gunter. And Gunter his build has been immaculate. Obviously, he's had the Intercontinental Championship since he beat Ricochet last summer, I want to say. Maybe a little bit before last summer. And he's just run through everybody. He's looked completely strong. Hasn't been pinned. Hasn't taken any losses except in like group efforts. Him and Imperium. But he's just looked immaculate. He was number two in the Royal Rumble and went the distance to face Cody Rhodes and inevitably lose to Cody. But he spent the most time in the Royal, he spent like over an hour in the Royal Rumble. He looked incredible. So he can't eat the pin. He can't eat the pin. I honestly want Drew to pin Sheamus, because Sheamus' character has annoyed me so freaking much, because he's had 2 opportunities to win the Intercontinental Championship. Two. I'm gonna move the mic a little bit closer. He's had 2 chances to take the Intercontinental Championship off of Gunther, lost both times, and then feels some type of way that his friend Drew McIntyre wants to actually take the challenge. I don't understand him. I really don't get this. I really don't understand. Like, why do you think you get this infinite amount of chances to win the Intercontinental Championship? I don't understand that. What makes you think like, oh, my friend's gonna understand? Bruh, you tried twice and you took an L twice. No, I'm not gonna wait for you forever to win this title. I'm gonna shoot my shot and I'm gonna take what I can. So I want Drew to take it, and then obviously they can feud over it. That'll be cool. Obviously, like I just said, Gunther can't be pinned because he, in my opinion, is who Cody has to face when he wins the champion, the WWE Universal Undisputed Championship, which again is what I'm gonna talk to before. What I'm gonna talk to after. I'm gonna talk about all this stuff afterward. I'm just giving you my prediction first, and then the back end later. So the Demon versus the Vampire, Finn Balor versus Edge. So Finn Balor, the last time we saw him as the Demon is when God interfered in Roman Reigns' Universal Championship match with him, when the top rope collapsed when he was going for the coup de grace, and Roman put him away after that. That sucked so much. I was so mad. I stopped watching WWE when the pandemic happened. I stopped watching wrestling, period. I kept up with it through, What Culture and everybody, but I stopped watching it when the pandemic happened. Then when the fans came back, I watched it for a little bit, then I clicked off again because of how sucky it was. And then I turned back on when we heard that Triple H got creative control, and obviously it was really good. Now it's been some strange things happening. A lot of people think Vince is not going to come out and say that he's head of creative again, because he knows everybody's going to hate that. So he's like, he might be controlling it from a distance. I'll leave it up to him. The man is an egomaniac, vindictive. He's all the terrible things you can pull out and say against somebody. He's the worst. So it would not surprise me if from afar Vince McMahon had his hand in creative. He's controlling the whole company's executive board. He could do creative if he wants to. Again, morale and everybody basically is going to not be good. But the thing that kills me the most about this whole situation is the fact that Triple H will pretty much have to do whatever he says. That Omos and Lesnar match, we all know it was by Vince. He has to do whatever he says to keep his position. So it's like, okay, you're going to mess this up, but just keep this in this area. You can mess up like 2-3 matches and just please leave me with the rest of the stuff. So that's what I think is happening there. But I started watching when Triple H came back, and Triple H was in the big chair, and the Judgment Day, amazing. The Edge and Judgment Day stuff have gone on for a long time, and I'm ready to see it done. Like he said, he's running out of time. Like, okay, we're done with that. But Edge and Beth Phoenix won the last match that we're in. It was Beth and Phoenix versus Beth. I said Beth and Phoenix. Edge and Beth versus Finn and Rhea, and they lost that. Edge won. So Finn needs this. The Demon needs this. The Demon character, period, needs this. I remember when the Demon character was invincible in NXT. It was easy. Booking easy. The Demon won. That was it. So he needs this win, definitely. The Edge does not need this win. Edge needs to put over the younger talent. Like I was saying earlier, I don't care that Edge is this nostalgia monster everybody loves. I don't care. Finn needs to win. Go over. That's it. Let's see. Son versus Daddy. You remember when the Usos cut that promo? Hey. We started this historic tag team by beating you and your daddy, Dominic Mysterio, locked down. I remember it. It was amazing. So, Dominic goes over, and I think Ray should retire. I've heard this take from a couple of people, and I agree. I think Ray should retire. He's going into the Hall of Fame. This should be his swan song. He should put his son over, and that'll be it. That'll be it. And I think that I'm gonna get to that later. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm gonna get to that later. Okay. So I think that son should go over daddy. So Dominic wins, Ray retires. Showcase match with all the female tag teams. Shayna and Ronda is the only established tag team. They need to win. All the other women I've just been thrown together to get onto the WrestleMania card. So Braun and Ricochet should win the men's tag team tournament 4-way, but I think if the Viking Raiders won, I'll be fine with that too. The Viking Raiders have been treated so terribly, and I love the Viking Raiders. You know, old War Machine. Oh my gosh, they are so good. I love Valhalla. Everything about them. They're my second favorite tag team in WWE. I want to say second. Don't quote me on that. I got more content coming where I talk about that. So they're really good. They're amazing. I hate the way that they just keep taking L after L after L, especially to like Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. Like, no. But Braun and Ricochet are hot. They are white hot right now in the tag team division. People love the flippy flopper and big mountain of meat combination. They love it. I love it too. I love especially the swanton off of Braun's shoulders. That's amazing. I love that. So that's who should win. Obviously, you know what's going on with Chad Gable and Otis. I love that storyline going on. So somebody like JD from New York, I watch him a lot. I don't agree with everything he says, especially he doesn't like silly stuff, and I'm fine with silly stuff as long as it isn't the bulk of wrestling, like the OT stuff. I remember when him, Mandy Rose, you know, they had the love storyline. That was awesome. I'm okay with silly stuff being involved in wrestling. Not everything has to be serious. But one, it can't dominate the entire shows, pay-per-views, all that. It can't dominate that. No. And two, it has to actually be funny. And Otis is that character. Like, come on, he's that dude. I don't need him to be a raging monster. You know, we have those characters. We already have those big monster heel characters. We don't need another one. I'm fine with Otis being that. I'm fine with Otis being the comedic relief, that type of person. He has the chops for it. It's not like he's bad. He's being forced into this. This is a Rene Dupree. You know, this isn't something like that. This is Otis. He's naturally charismatic. He has natural charisma, and I love him. He's a funny dude. Awesome. Street Profits. I hope that the Street Profits can, I want them to like hold, I know it'd be kind of strange, it's an experiment, but I want them to hold the Intercontinental and United States Championships at the same time. I want them to stay together and hold both mid-card titles at the same time and defend them on both SmackDown and Raw. I think that'll be a nice experiment. I don't think that's ever been done before, where they've had a tag team has held mid-card titles and just faced everybody. I think that would be pretty fire. What's next? Oh, the actual main event. Roman versus Cody. There's only one way this could go, and that's with Cody winning. There are a bunch of reports out there that say Roman's going to take a significant amount of time off TV. Obviously, like, okay, cool. He already has a really favorable schedule to where he doesn't have to work that much. So he has to go. That's fine. He has to lose the titles, obviously. Cody is the person who I want to win the titles. He was the secondary. Unfortunately, he was secondary winner. You know who my first option was. It was everybody's first option. So it's bittersweet, but I'm gonna enjoy seeing Cody go over. It's gonna be pretty good. I don't really have that many much more thoughts on it aside from that, but I'm gonna go through the fallout from everything. Theory versus Cena. So Theory winning, obviously he'll have that chip on his, not a chip on his shoulder. He'll have that. He'll be able to brag about that. I'll be John Cena at WrestleMania. Who can say they've done the same? Blah, blah. Who can, blah, blah, blah. If he wants to do the United States Open Challenge and Jay White comes out and beats him for it, that'll be incredible. That is something I would want to see on the Raw After Mania. Also, this is the first Raw After Mania that's been controlled by Triple H, booked by Triple H, and semi-booked if you believe the rumors. But it's gonna actually feel like Raw After. I remember when Raw After WrestleMania felt really incredible, like wonderful, like Enzo and Cass debut, those type of situations. Hasn't felt like that in a long time because Vince didn't really give a you know what about fans, so it really didn't matter. So for me, I think, what do I think? I'm asking myself, what do I think? That's so funny. That would be an amazing situation. But Theory, the boost Theory would get for beating Cena at WrestleMania is just going to be mwah. So that's going to be good to see. Seth winning over Logan. Obviously, they can keep going with this. This is their first match. Logan said his contract is over. I don't know if it's big cap or not, because he said, his contract was over. And the WWE said it was a multi-year deal. I hope it wasn't one of those things where it's like, oh, we're going to sign you for the rest of 2022 and the first half of 2023. That's what I was thinking. Technically, that would count as a multi-year deal because it happens in 2 different years. But it's like, We'll see. I don't see them not re-signing him for any reason. His crypto scam stuff, obviously that. Allegedly. Let me cover my butt. Allegedly, his crypto game, that CoffeeZilla exposed and all that other stuff. But I don't see them not re-signing him. They brought back Hulk Hogan, who was notorious, big R word. So, well, I guess we'll just see about that. Like I said, Damage Control. If Trish turns on Becky and Lita, and it leads to Trish versus Becky, cool. Damage Control, like I said, needs this win. They're not being taken seriously anymore. You have that point where someone goes from a threat to a pester. Like, I remember the build when Sonya Deville, when Charlotte was... I can't remember who Charlotte was going against. But Sonya just kept asking for title opportunity after title opportunity, belt shot after shot after shot. And would attack her and stuff like this. And it was like, yo, you a pest. You're not a threat. You're a pest. And I hope, nah. They've gotten to that point where they just seem like they're pests. And that's really bad. They need to become actual threats again. When they come out, I'll roll my eyes because I'm like, oh, the L Squad has arrived. Here comes another loss. They need a little rehabilitation on their group because they're an actual tag team. They're one of the actual tag teams in WWE, and they just look terrible. So, yeah. Omos and Lesnar. Like I said, Lesnar is going to go away for a little bit from what I hear. From what I've heard from sources and stuff. But, I mean, what would Omos really... If Omos wins, it'll be on the level of Brock beating The Undertaker. It'll be that kind of ridiculous. But if he does win, I mean, I just shrug. What does that really do for Omos? Like I said, he's not going to give you a 30-minute technical classic. He's big. Oh my gosh. I hate hearing him speak. He has this really deep, strange voice, and it's like, oh, what you gonna do? I can't do that. And it's bad. He doesn't know how to taunt very well. It's just like, you're really tall. That's literally the end of it. And then Brock's gonna pop up when Brock pops up. So yeah. Like I said, Asuka is another person who needs this. The little prancing around with the title and the mist thing that they had at the end of their like build was very awkward. It wasn't intimidating. It was awkward. If it was meant to come off as crazy, she should have did something else. Like, because it just seemed very awkward and kind of off. So I was like, okay. Anywho, so like I said, Asuka definitely needs to win this. Belair has done an incredible job as women's champion, but we need to give her some air, because I don't want another scene on our hands. She's been incredible. I love me some Belair, like I said earlier, but no, we don't need another scene on our hands. So we move on to the Usos and Usos and KO Zayn. So I've already talked about this, like I said earlier. They need to split up the tag team titles. That's another reason why the Viking Raiders and the tag team division has been looking really like, because they have nothing to fight over. What is the point? At this point, we're just wrestling to wrestling. We're wrestling to wrestle. There's nothing else. There has to be a prize. There has to be something you're fighting over. I mean, pride can only really be a factor of something that's like a long-term feud. But the tag team division has been lacking something, and the something is a reason to fight. That's it. Viking Raiders, give them the tag team championships. Like Ricochet, and why am I blanking right now? And the monster of all monsters. Why can't I remember? What is this? And Braun. Wow, that was so strange. And Braun, give him the titles. I remember when like Kenzo Suzuki and Rene Dupree were like tag team champions. I remember when Tajiri and William Regal were tag team. Were they tag team champions? They were a really good tag team. Booker and Goldust. All these odd couple tag teams were, tag team champions. They definitely need a tag team title run if that's the case, because they're like some of the best odd couple tag team mixture that the WWE's ever put together. Like, yeah, okay, cool. So, okay. Where was I going with that? Split up the tag team titles, KO and Zayn, either one, just split them up, give it somewhere else. Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew. Like I said, this is more for Gunther. When Gunther loses, he's not gonna be pinned. I hope Drew pins Sheamus, and then they can go their separate way. And then the next night on Raw, when Cody's giving his, his title speech, and he's, all this great stuff and whatever the case is, he's interrupted by Gunther, and then him versus Gunther. Obviously, he lasted with Cody all the way through the Rumble, so he'll actually have a claim to face Cody. Hey, you were the last person in the Royal Rumble, but guess who you threw out? It was me. Give me a chance. Give me a shot. Thing is, it might be too early. Maybe Gunther has to go through a couple main event level guys, because I don't want Cody to lose the title like right away, obviously. And then that's another thing I'm gonna get to later on with the back draw. I keep saying back draw, with the back half of his win. So I think Gunther should be built up to be the next monster heel that Cody has to take down, which is pretty good. I like that. So Demon versus Vampire, Edge goes his way, Finn goes his way. That's it. We're done. This has been going on for a long time. I don't like Edge having the amount of TV time that he's had, because he's just taking it away from people who deserve it. And no, I'm not saying that Edge is a bad wrestler or anything like that, but Edge has been world champion, WWE champion, United States champion, Intercontinental champion, tag team champion for a very long time. He has been the center of the WWE universe for a very long time. Let's give somebody else a chance. Let him put over some other people. Let him put over Finn. Let him put over some other individuals. Because Edge does not need this amount of time anymore. Yes, he's getting close to retiring. That's all cool. But that doesn't mean I want to see him more than I want to see other people. And I know a lot of people would disagree with me because they love Edge to death and blah, 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 blah. Cool. Edge is definitely an old head, and there are a bunch of young stars who need TV time. He's not one of them. Finn is one of them. Finn needs this win. He's going to get this win, I'm hoping. The Demon itself needs this win, so hopefully that'll be the end of this. We can move on, and boom, that'll be it. So, who's next? Who's after that? Son versus dad, like I said, the Dom thing. Okay, so I think what I want to happen is for Dominic to beat Ray, retire him, and then feel all good about it, but then slowly, this is where head booker, head of creative comes in clutch here, because I want him to feel good about it initially, and then I want him to just kind of like week for week feel bad about it, or wow, I really ruined my dad's, start to come to his senses, like, oh man, I really ruined my dad's Hall of Fame speech and his Hall of Fame moment. I ruined his last WrestleMania. And he just starts to come to his senses, like, oh man, this is not the type of thing I wanted to do. All these influences, whatever the case is. I don't know if turn him babyface per se. I'm still trying to work that out in my head. But I mean, him coming around and going against Finn for, like, let's say Finn wins the Intercontinental Championship or United States Championship, whatever the case is, to try to turn him into a babyface again, I think that would be pretty cool. I think it would be pretty cool to try to rehabilitate him. Everybody loves him as a heel right now, but I think to turn him into a face after realizing what kind of harm he's done to his family and his dad and everything, I think there are actual roots for that there. I don't know if they're actually going to do it. Obviously, him being a heel is what people love. They love to boo him. But there's merit there. You can build off of that. You can actually make him feel remorse and regret and then slowly turn him. I think that has a lot of credence. And like I said, Ray can come back and just manage him. I'm fine with that. But Ray retiring would have a huge, not moment, but a huge impact on his career, obviously. Showcase match, Shayna and Ronda obviously set them up for the tag team title tag team title run, excuse me. That's pretty much speaks for itself. Braun and Ricochet, like I said, set them up for a tag team title match. Like I said, KO and Sami split up the titles or whatever. I'm hoping that'll just be the end of it, and Braun and Ricochet will get a run with the titles. So that's all I got to say about that. And then Roman and Cody. So Roman and Cody is the last thing. Now, what I was hoping for, what I've said a million times, when Sami caught fire and he was Daniel Bryan hot, Yes Movement hot. I was hoping that they would book it as Roman versus Sami versus Cody in a 2 out of 3 falls match. First fall gets the WWE title, second fall gets the Universal title. And Cody wins by pinning Sami, and he wins the WWE title. And then Roman is like apoplectic mad, pissed off that hard, to where he gets sloppy. Sami hits him with the Voluma kick, hits him with it again, maybe hits him with a spear or something, pins him, and he's the first person to pin Roman, wins the Universal title. Then the next night on Raw, Cody comes out, he's all happy he wins the WWE title, but he slowly starts to change through his promo about how, he won, and how, he just turns hard. I know he doesn't want to become a heel, don't know why. I don't think he's explained it. I haven't heard him. I could be wrong. But I would love him to turn heel and just be a little princess about how it was his title match. all the adulation and cheering should have been for him, but Sammy ruined it. It was his moment. Sammy shouldn't have been involved. Just go completely, spoiled. Dominic, my dad bought me a BMW when I wanted whatever, I forgot what it was. When I wanted a Ferrari or whatever, but just be that type of person. Like, I'm not happy that I won the WWE title. I wanted to win the WWE title the way I wanted it to. You ruined it with Sammy, all of y'all. That should have been it, and that would have been amazing. But that didn't happen that way. The fallout from this, I think, will be, Cody wins, Roman disappears, and it's going to be cool. Cody being WWE Universal Champion. I hope they split the titles too. They said that I've heard reports that they have a new, They have a new WWE Championship or maybe World Championship, one of the two, that they want to unveil, that's ready to be unveiled. So I can't wait to see that because I hate the Universal title. What I wanted to do, and I'm going to do some 2K, WWE 2K content on my channel. But what I'm going to do is replace the Universal Championship with the World Championship. Maybe creative. Community Creative has so many nice creations. So I might do something like that. But I hate the Universal title. I hate how it looks. No. So that's it. That's all for my WrestleMania predictions, the fallout, and I hope you enjoyed this first podcast on my new channel, Wrestling is Phenomenal. I have been head of creative, Alexander Leviathan, and I hope to see you next time. Much more content coming. I had to get this out on the Friday before WrestleMania for views and clicks, and hopefully people see it and listen to it and enjoy it. I will see you next time, and until then, I don't have a catchphrase yet. Until then, remember, wrestling is phenomenal. And